All right. Welcome, all creatures. This is your one and only social media GM. Um, we are back at it. Uh, Start off, I appreciate you just even being here. Like I always say, you don't have to be here. Just to give you a little quick personal update. Like I said, I just want to give you guys some personal updates so y'all could get to know me a little bit more. Last video, go check that out. But I was going to like like it was downtown, but like a little block party event. It was pretty cool. Didn't really get to try the food trucks. Food was running out, but hey, it was free. And it was just something to do. But it was cool though. Me and my wife got to have fun. We got to listen to music. Um, and yeah, just another update. As y'all can see, I'm always switching the camera. I be switching my outfits. Here y'all go. So y'all can finally see the top of my head in general. I have no edge up like I said before, but you know, got the braids for y'all, man, just in general. But I just realized my edge up didn't look too bad. It looks bad to me, but it's not too bad on camera. We're not really here for my face, anyways. So I'm like, you know what? And it'd be too hot in this room, too. That's another thing. Wearing all that stuff on my head would be too hot. But, anyways, let's get into it. This video shouldn't be too long. Like I said, it's called the Social Media GM Periodical. Just giving you guys some news update for today. We're gonna talk about Will Anderson's contract. What does that mean for the NFL in general? Just give you a little insight on that, especially being a Texas fan. Uh, Swarm City, you know what I'm saying? H Town, hands down. But I'll be able to go a little bit on that as well, and then also just Dexter Lawrence trades and moves stirring up a little bit more. Just kind of going into the teams that is stirring up the most for. But let's get into it. So, like I said, Will Anderson breaking news, y'all. If you haven't heard yet, Will Anderson got 150 mil, and mind you, I got my camera like this on purpose so I could ignore the like ads and stuff. But anyways, 150 mil, no trade clause. So let's just get into it. 3 year, 150 mil, 134 million guaranteed, making him the highest paid, no trade clause. All right. So whether you're a Texans fan or not, this is obviously huge news. As a Texans fan, well deserved. Let's just give it up to him first. Um, and what does this mean for the NFL? So what does it mean? The market reset. So obviously 50 million a year. Who was before? I think Michael Parsons was what, 43, 45, something like that. I think he make like 5 mil a year extra than Michael Parsons, but market reset, that's one thing. Um, just to give you an insight on the Texans, because it seems like we reset the market a couple times with Derek Stingley Jr. The market was 25 million. We went to 30 million. So with that, right? I think that's a little game plan with the Texans because if you look at it, we only do it with the surefire players like Derek Stingley, Pro Bowler, top corner. Obviously, we know Will Anderson running for Defensive Player of the Year, top edge. So we're resetting the market with those players because we're like, we know we're keeping these players. Like we know they're great players. And it kind of messes it up for other teams because like we're resetting the market and putting it higher. It's kind of like what you gonna do with your players. You know what I'm saying? Like Derek Stingley, he's 30 million a year. I can't think who we're not talking about Derek Stingley right now, but I can't think of the cornerbacks that are due for extensions. But what are you going to do with your cornerbacks? And just to give you some more ammo on that, if you think about it, when the Texans were drafting, we drafted Jada Higgins in the second round. Second rounders aren't guaranteed money, but we were the first people to guarantee Jada first team to guarantee Jada Higgins all his money in the second round. So that was a player we really wanted. He had a good first year, by the way, for anybody that don't really know about Jada Higgins. He was our second round pick wide receiver. So second wide receiver behind Nico Collins, technically. He had a pretty good year, but it was a rookie year. Our offense wasn't that good either. So it didn't look that well, but it was a good year. I'm looking for a breakout year this year. But anyways, um, guaranteeing all his money, he was the first player. So now it was like, what are y'all gonna do with y'all players? You know what I'm saying? When we did that. And you see that caused issues with certain players. There were some players that didn't want to sign their contracts until their money was guaranteed and things like that. So there's a little mastermind plan when it comes to stuff like that. So now with Will Anderson extension, it's kind of like what now for some people. Right now, off the top of my head, I couldn't really think of too many edges that it affects right now. Please comment, as you like, share, subscribe. I hope so. But put in the comments like who this may affect if you have any ideas and stuff like that. But the couple people that came to my mind off rip was, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name. I'm really not, because I just don't even want to mess it up. But Thule, I know it start off Thule, so but this is a big move for somebody like him because he's due for an extension and or a new contract, whatever you want to call it. And with him, he just had a breakout year in a sense. I'm not saying he. I've watched Thule in general. I'm not saying he's bad or anything, but when I mean breakout year, he had 13 sacks. So the previous years, you can even see it right there. Previous years, he was combined for 13 sacks in general. So it's like, what do we do with him now? You know what I'm saying? A young emerging edge. He's 23 from just seeing it up there. His birthday close to mine. I'll let y'all know that later. But yeah, 23. He just had 13 sacks. Will Anderson just got paid 50 million a year, and I'm not saying he's even close to 50 million a year. But let's just say in hindsight, he was worth 30 million. Let's just say he was worth 30 million. Will Anderson getting 50 million. It's like, he either the team or him or himself. He might be thinking, wow, he got a lot of money. I was worth 30 million. Price went up. I don't know. 35 million now or something like that. That's just that's just things that's going on right now. And another person as well, Byron Young. He had 12 sacks last year, and he's been, to me in general, he's been somewhat consistent in general. Like he's a good player in general. He makes that Rams line a lot better. But it's like another player nowhere near Will Anderson. And mind you, I know it says linebacker here, but he be playing on the edge. I know it says linebacker. But anyways, what is he worth? What if he was worth 30 million? Now you got to pay 35 million. Um, I had another example as well that I'm just gonna say, but he's not up there. But Nolan Smith, he's due for an extension, but nowhere near any of these players to me, at least. But he could be a player where it's like the Eagles don't really like paying their players, which they win championships, so they're doing a good method. So I can't even say nothing bad about it. They're saving their money. But my point is they don't pay their players. So let's say Nolan Smith was only worth 15 million a year. Now he's talking about 20 million because he's a young player and he felt like he got more potential because that defense is kind of stacked. It's like if I go somewhere else, I could shine. So maybe he'll go test the market where his market now is 20 million. And the Eagles like, nah, I'm not paying that. I mean, that could be a boomer bust type thing where somebody pay him 20 million, 18 million a year or something like that when he was really worth 15 million or whatever, and he ends up snapping or he ends up not snapping. But the point is the money is going up. So that really affects every team in general. Sorry about the sound. But just to keep going now, like I said, we were talking about that. Now we're talking about uh Dexter. Whoo, that was a bad stutter, y'all. Dexter Lawrence, his news right now, right? So Dexter Lawrence, one team that is heating up with in general, because I don't know why they use this word, but contract impasse, however you want to pronounce it, but basically it's just not looking good when it comes to a new contract. It's not looking good, so it's looking like he's most likely leaving. So you can check out my other videos where I did NFL rumors and remaining free agents. I gave out ideas of where Dexter Lawrence should be, and one of these teams is on there, and one of these teams that I'm going to show is on there, and one team is not. Um, the one team that's not, I'm gonna elaborate why I didn't even say them. So just to go into it, it's looking bad, and it's looking like it's heating up for some other teams, especially seeing how bad it's looking. There's some teams that's like, yo, we available. What's up? One team basically is the Bengals. A lot of the players apparently, like even Orlando Brown Jr., they've been publicly talking about getting Dexter Lawrence. Now this team was on my list. Bengals, it makes sense. Y'all are a win now team, mind you. The team needs help, but y'all are in win now mode. Having Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, T Higgins, y'all have the offense that can be in a championship, but the defense not so much. So with a move like this, especially with how your team is, because they need a lot of help, especially pass rushing, he would be perfect. And mind you, he's low. I mean, I know he had a bad season last year, and some people might not be as high on Dexter Lawrence anymore just because of his bad season. But if we go off of just Dexter Lawrence, he's game changing. He's a wrecker by himself. So adding him on your defense automatically puts you in another tier just because of how game wrecking he is. So that's one team. And then the team that I didn't have him on was the Bills. I didn't say the Bills. Now the Bills seem to be in a big push for him. Big push. Reason being that I didn't have the Bills is because with the Bills, I I just thought, to be honest, one, they needed more help on the edge. That was one. That's why they went after. I get the brothers mixed up. They went after Joey Bosa. I just don't want to. I just don't want to say that, and it was Nick. But Joey Bosa, they got him. Didn't really work out as much. Now they picked up. I think who was it? Bradley Chubb, because I want to say Khalil Mack, but I think he's with the Chargers. Bradley Chubb, and they have somebody else, but they needed more help on the edge. The only why I say they needed more help on the edge is because they have some veterans already. And my fault, y'all. I wish I could remember the veterans' names, but they're not bad. But also they picked up in the draft. Was it last year? They picked up Landry Jackson and Deion Walker. Those are two big. Oh, and there was one more person I cannot think right now. Which actually, let me just look it up, because that's. Let me just look it up real quick, y'all. I think there was one more rookie. It was like Landry Jackson. Well, they're not rookies no more, but Landry Jackson, Deion Walker, Landon Jackson. My fault. Landon Jackson. Here go the veterans. Ed Oliver. That was one person I was thinking of. T.J. Sanders. That was another person. T.J. Sanders, Deion Walker. Those were the younger players that they picked up, right? So I was thinking, like you see, defensive tackle, big body, first of all, big body. But another defensive tackle, uh, he's more of an edge. But I just thought since they drafted all those players, you would kind of want to focus on something else, is my point. So now that I'm thinking about it, just because they're such in a win now mode, they could trade a couple, like they could trade TJ Sanders, and obviously they would probably have to give up a first round or a second round or something like that. But at just you got pieces to add to the trade to make it work. And it would be better for the Buffalo Bills because, like I said, he gets added on any roster, it's an update automatically. Like the roster goes, the defense goes another tier. So to me, no matter what you think or what you say about him, it's a phenomenal thing to do. Obviously, some teams it makes more sense for, but I think the Bills would make sense. And yeah, that's all the news I got for today. I appreciate anyone that tunes in, and we always do a word of the day. We always do a word of the day at the end. So anybody that's not staying for the word, like I said, I appreciate you. Subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff, man. Because this channel does need help, of course. And the people that staying for the word, just give me 1 second, and I'm gonna get something. Uh, Once again, should have had one prepared, but I'm gonna just say uh the Bible verse of the day, because I actually touched on this. Actually, this was good. So thank you for the people that's not staying. I do appreciate it, even if you don't stay, even if you do. But appreciate you. Bible verse of the day. I'm gonna put it on the screen real quick. So um we got First Peter chapter 5, verse 8. And we touched on this a little bit already. So I'm gonna read it with y'all. Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. Amen. So even with this, right? I talked about the sober mindedness, right? Because if you even look at this verse, day to day we're in a spiritual battle day to day. Whether even when you go about your regular life, let's say somebody like me, right? I wake up, I go play basketball, I go grocery shopping, then I come home, watch TV, go to sleep. Even with that, like mortal or physical you know daily life, there's always spiritual battles. Even when I went to go play basketball, the devil is prowling. Even when I went to the grocery store, the devil is prowling. There's different ways he can prowl, and what I mean by that is he can mess with you personally. He can mess with you and make you do things that aren't pleasing to God, basically, or just when your mind isn't in the right state, he's trying to get at you. So like for example, basketball wise, I don't know, you could have did something angry. I'm just keeping it simple, of course, but like basketball wise, I had a good game. I met people and played well. That's a scenario. But with the devil prowling, if you're not sober minded and alert, let's say like I could have had a bad game and I could have punched somebody just because I'm so mad or something like that. That's the devil prowling. And it doesn't have to be just you. It could have been somebody else. Like I said, I played basketball, went grocery shopping, came home, watched TV, went to sleep. But in another sense, the devil prowls and affects other people. So I could have played basketball and then somebody could have punched me. Like the devil's messing with him to get at me or something like that. I'm just giving like real quick short scenarios, but that's why we always got to be alert and be sober minded. And with that, of course, that comes with you know, drugs and alcohol and things like that, being sober minded, but it also just comes with reading the word and always being alert. If your mind is on God all the time, you're going to be alert. If my mind isn't on God, I'm just playing basketball, going to the grocery store, then I just go, you know, I watch TV. I'm not saying your mind not on God, but I'm just saying if I'm sitting here like God, 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 I'm alert. I'm sober minded. So whenever the devil tries to get at me, even let's say that person tries to provoke me in basketball, I know it's the devil. Let me move away from this. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need the devil messing me up from what I got with God. So that's it for y'all, man. Don't let the devil prowl, man, because he coming through like a lion. Amen.